So I did think the Cowboys and the Raiders, because of Derek Carr and Dak, would be a really good fit. And then I got off the air and made a bunch of calls, and here's what I was told with Sean Payton. It's TV1, TV2, and TV3. Now, he may do part-time TV, meaning he takes a month off, he goes to Cabo with his beautiful new wife, he does some, a little here, a little there. He may not go all in, but football is not his primary interest. I was told by two different sources he is burned out, and I'll get to that in a second. But yesterday, Sean held a press conference. He looked good. He actually looked pretty rested for a guy that's burned out. And he, at the end of this, he was very open. He talked a little bit about the TV thing. The reason Sean Payton would work on TV, in my opinion, 75% of the people, ex-jocks and coaches doing this stuff, are fine. They're not special. I think Greg Olson is, wow, good. Romo popped very quickly. I have fondness for Aikman. I've known Troy for years. You got to sometimes be critical of people, and a lot of ex-coaches and jocks won't be. And also, Sean, I don't know him well, but I know many people who do. He is really intense. He burns hot, and he goes all in on stuff. So if Sean's all in, and he would go all in on broadcasting because he's a very competitive guy. He was an athletic guy. He's going to go all in on it. He'd be good at it. He'd be good day one. I mean, Romo was good day one. But I think the more interesting thing is this. Two things have happened coaching in the NFL. Two things have happened. Number one, every owner in the NFL now is a billionaire. Okay, these franchises now, the biggest money in the world is all on sports franchises. That's why people are shocked Jeff Bezos of Amazon hasn't bought a franchise yet. Nobody knows where to put their money, the uber wealthy in the world. Sports teams is one of the, Stan Kroenke of the Rams, one of the richest people in America. Stadiums and teams is where a lot of rich people are putting their money, because you don't know what the market's going to do. You don't know about instability. You don't know about leadership. You don't know about terrorism. You don't know. There's a lot of things that could tank the market, tank the housing market. But the Boston Red Sox are playing at Fenway in 20 years, and Liverpool's going to be playing over in England, and the Packers are going to be in Green Bay if they had an owner, and the Cowboys are going to be in Dallas. So global wealth has exploded. The half of 1% has separated from even other rich people. They're billionaires. They write $75 million checks. They make that in an hour. The ownership in the NFL is so bloody rich, everything's a rounding error, they'll just fire you very quickly. And also, the richer people get, the more delusional they get, and the more impatient they get, because everything is given to you and granted to you. And so you don't really do much. You don't go to the DMV. You don't go to the grocery store. You don't do anything. The dog walker, this. These people are impatient. They're richer than ever. These are toys. That's often the third or fourth thing they own. The equity has quadrupled in the last 5 or 10 years. They bought these franchises for $380 million, and they're now worth $6 billion. And it's a tough place to be. Owners have never been crazier, never been more impatient. They've never had more money. And I'm not saying Gail Benson is a bad owner. She has a reputation as a good owner. The Benson family were very supportive. It's the first thing that's happening, though. This is why a lot of these NFL guys are thinking about college or thinking about going into TV. It's crazy town. These owners are now crazy. The second thing that's happening is, and we've talked about this multiple times, quarterback always mattered in this league. But Andy Reid got to 5 NFC championships without a Hall of Fame quarterback. You could win a lot of games with a great running back, with a great defense. The last 4 coaches left are all offensive. Zach Taylor's one of the last 4 coaches. Belichick isn't. Pete Carroll finished in 4th place. Mike Tomlin's gone. Zach Taylor's in. Same division. If you don't have a quarterback, and right now the Saints quarterback room is a hot mess. I mean, it's just they're paying Taysom Hill money. Jameis Winston doesn't work. Ian Book's a nice kid, but limited. It's a mess. And Sean's like, I can't win with this. I mean, Andy Reid, in today's game, moved off Alex Smith. Alex Smith was a winning quarterback. He's like, yeah, there's limitations on. And this has been going on for about 6 years now, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And finally this year, the best quarterback won every division in the NFC Every single playoff team had an offensive coach. If not for the AFC East, which has all defensive coaches, 7 of 8 divisions won by a offensive coach. All the rules are offense. So Sean Payton's like, I can't win. I can't win with this. And I think it's smart. So a lot of people are writing about the Cowboy job. Now, could Jerry Jones write a $125 million check, $25 million a year for the next 5 years? Jerry's getting close to 80 years old. He may be getting impatient. Absolutely, that could happen. But I am told by people I trust it is TV1, TV2, and TV3. And by the way, in regards to his quarterback room, last year, as you watched it, and he was struggled with it, he even acknowledged his quarterback room last year. He tried to add another quarterback. Would tell you how much he loved the quarterbacks there. He wanted Drew Brees. He wanted 40-year-old broadcaster Drew Brees in the quarterback room. So expect him near a TV set, near you, actually, in the very near future. All right. You know what magicians do, right? Magicians have the card over here, and then they make you look over to the right. Look over here, and then they make the card disappear, and they do their magic trick over here. It's all about distraction and illusion for a magician. Aaron Rodgers should be a magician. He's very good at that. So Aaron's right hand is the one that has the football, and that's the one that got scared in the playoff game and played fearful and wasn't daring and scored 3 points at home as a number 1 seed. That's the right hand. Aaron yesterday talked to the media. He wanted you to look over the left hand. Aaron said, quote, everybody was rooting against us because of my anti-vaccine stance. A lot of people are rooting against me. They were tuning in, rooting against me. That's the left hand over here. Look over here. I'm the victim. Over here. You. No, Aaron, I want to pay attention to the right arm because this weekend Joe Burrow was more daring than you, and Patrick Mahomes was more daring, and Matt Stafford was more daring. I don't want to look at you, the victim. Don't try to fool me with all the victim stuff. The right hand is the one to worry about, not the left, not the everybody hates me. Do some people root against Aaron because of his vaccine status? Yeah, I mean, the internet, Twitter is just a toilet. 22% of America's on Twitter. It's not real life. People say awful things to me on Twitter. I've been in this business 30 years. People come up to me in real life and are the sweetest, nicest, kindest, smartest, most thoughtful people. I've never had anybody say anything nice to me on Twitter. Of course, I'm embellishing, but we all know the game on Twitter. It's not real life. It's anonymous. And everybody, when you don't know who they are, they get out their frustration, their misery in life. They take it out on you. Overwhelmingly, people were not rooting against the Green Bay Packers. They have fans all over the place. Aaron's fun to watch. Aaron drives me nuts. I've been the most critical Aaron Rodgers critic in the American sports media. There is no second place. He doesn't like me. He's told people he doesn't like me. He goes on rival shows we don't see eye to eye. But he's great for football. He's a villain. I think this right here is the classic, everybody's rooting. I don't care about the left hand in the vax crap. I don't care. I'm not a mandate guy. But I do think the right hand's fascinating. You watched all these games. You saw how Stafford and Burrow and Allen and Mahomes, how poised they were. Getting sacked under duress. Stafford's team was melting. Burrow got sacked 9 times. Mahomes and Allen, they were these young, mostly young, Stafford's older, these young, daring, risk-taking, coachable quarterbacks. And Aaron was and Garoppolo's limited, but he didn't play safe. Garoppolo's totally limited. He was throwing the ball right down the middle. I thought the fascinating thing about the weekend was I keep being told how great Aaron is. He played fearful. He played scared. He played without trust. That's the right hand. That's the hand I care about. If you want to play victim, it's not my cup of joe, man. I'm not. I talk about this all the time to my kids. We have granite countertops. I don't, and crown molding. There's no victims in the house. We're fine. And I don't think Aaron's a victim. And I don't think everybody was rooting against him. But I do think if Aaron goes on Twitter and reads it, people are awful. But they're awful to Joy. They're probably worse to Joy than me because she'll fight with them and I just ignore them. They're awful to me. They're awful to everybody. In real life, people aren't. If you ran into Aaron Rodgers at a supermarket, you'd ask for a selfie. The same guy that's hating him. And I do think Twitter tends to be, the media tends to lean left my entire life. It's more left than it used to be, and now you can see how far they lean left, and they get a little dogmatic on the whole mask and vaccine thing. Again, NFL did not have a mandate. It just made it tougher if you weren't vaccinated. That said, I don't really care. Aaron's good for my business. But this feels like, look over here. I don't want to. I want to look over there. Because what I saw was a quarterback I've been assured by all the experts is the great quarterback talent of my generation. And he wasn't as good as Burrow, and he wasn't as good as Mahomes. He wasn't close to Josh Allen. And frankly, Matt Stafford now with a legitimate culture, he wasn't as good as Matt Stafford. I don't want to hear it 0 degrees. I don't want to hear it was 0 degrees the week before for Josh Allen against New England, wasn't it? They had 7 straight touchdowns. It was 0 degrees in Buffalo. I don't want to hear about the weather. It's an advantage for Aaron Rodgers. So, Aaron, I know you can host Jeopardy. I know you're an actor. I know you do commercials. I know you do quarterback, but I don't need you to be a magician. I'm not going to pay attention to the victimhood on the left hand. I want to pay attention to what I saw on the right hand, which is a gifted quarterback that played fearfully, played cautiously, and didn't trust teammates not named Devontae Adams. That is what I want to talk about. That hand. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.